Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video I'm going to actually walk you through a trade that's triggering right now. So let me give you a little background on this trade, and for that I'm going to take you to the economic calendar over here at Forex Factory. Now today, throughout the day, we've had a number of hot zones affecting one of the Forex pairs we've had our eye on, and that is the New Zealand dollar versus Canadian dollar. Starting off with the GDP out of Canada at 8:30 Eastern, followed up by Bank of Canada Governor Stephen Poloz at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and now about 25 minutes ago, the 5:45 p.m. Eastern New Zealand jobs numbers, employment change and unemployment rate. So 3 different events to help close the distance for a trigger that we've been watching, and we've been talking about this for about 2 days now, the New Zealand dollar Canada on the Forex side. Now this is a Forex trade, but I want you to remember that anytime we execute a trend follow with the volatility of economic releases, I don't care if it's the S&P or if it's this New Zealand dollar Canadian dollar, or if it's Baidu, it's going to have a very similar trade. So we've been talking about a slightly more conservative entry based upon what I call range extreme highs. One of the things that we do in the room is we calculate what the likely highs and lows can be for any market, Forex and futures. And in this case, early this morning, we had range extreme highs that gave us exhaustion levels between basically 88.78, where we are right now, and 89.15. And these are going to be what I call the range extreme high and the rare air. 89.15 is much more conservative, but our main entry was down near that 88.78 level. So we park a limit order to short and set up the trade. And that's what you're looking at right now, the setup that we were watching. In fact, it's triggered now with the 5:45 release. In fact, that's the catalyst for the volatility. You can see that very clearly on the 5-minute chart. Now, one other thing we can do, and this is happening live, so I love how this recap video is going to be very helpful, is I can take a look at the 60-minute chart, and I know that the 5 to 6 o'clock candle is going to be the one that's primarily affected by this event. So what we do, and I'm going to grab my calculator right now, is calculate this with you right now, because I actually don't know what the answer to this is going to be, and we're going to do this live right now. So I'm going to take the current high that we knew, which is 88.80, that we know now, which is 88.87, and I'm going to subtract the low. Now what this is going to give me is the total pip movement for this 1 hour candle. So 87.93 was the low, and what that gives me is the total number of pips for this candle. That's a lot. Wow. So we're looking at 88.80 as the high. Yep. And then 87.93 as the low. So that's a good number of pips right there. All right, so that's going to give me, again, about 87 pips. Now, when I go back to the auto chartist, and this is how we project expectations, that's actually pretty high. But let's see what we've got. So for the New Zealand dollar Canada, for the hour, oh wow, that just blew that number out of the water. So we had a very volatile reaction. But it still remained within the daily price movement ranges that we had projected earlier. Now, how do we project those? Take a look. I had a low of 87.93. If I go back on over to the daily price movement range, I'm going to add 100 pips to that. In other words, I can project based upon 68% probability how many pips to the upside we might move. Again, 87.93 gives me an 88.93 high. Today's high, 88.87. I mean, this is how accurate, and this is happening live, okay? This is no well-chosen example. I love this. So I'm already ready for an 88.93 high, and we had an order in at 88.78, okay? And that's what we're looking for right now for the entry. And that's a swing short on the volatility of this New Zealand jobs number. And that's how these fills happen sometimes. Very volatile, but a lot of traders, psychologically, the wheels are going to come off the wagon when they see a candle take off like this. We're not, because we already had calculated where we thought price would go based upon the pip movement, and we knew that this is where we're going to be in this area. That's how accurate we can be. And these calculations, by the way, were made between 8 and 9 a.m. this morning. All right. And we've been waiting for this particular hot zone to take the trade. So that's a look at this New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar hot zone with the trade waiting. We're not trading the data. We're letting the data volatility take us to our entry price. So love that you can take a look at this live with us. I'll see you in the next update.